Today was pretty similar to the ones we had after the end of the regular season when we had that 6-7 day break. So it was good to get up and down, stay in game shape, get some live reps against each other, the coaches. But it's been a good couple of days, and I think we're preparing the right way. We don't know who we're playing yet, but we're staying fit, staying ready, and guys have been getting off the last 2 days.
The thing that stood out was just the competitive level that you guys were able to get to. All 4 of those games, even after a long layoff. Why do you think that you guys were able to actually deliver that, despite having had some time off?
Yeah, I think there was a bit of rust in that first game. Whether that was a week off, but I think after that first game we shook it up pretty quickly, and we're back to business as normal. And hopefully the next time we play a game, we don't have that same kind of slow start. But yeah, as I said, we prepared the right way, we did all the right things. We've had 2 good days these last 2, and guys getting after it, staying in shape. So the long break is not an excuse to have a slow start. I think we'll be ready to come to one.
Josh, after going through the first 4 games of the playoffs, and that being your first experience, what are some of the biggest takeaways for you personally, things that you've learned in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think the adjustments each game, they made them, we made them, and it's like you're playing the same team, so if you lose one game, you win one game, both teams are going to change certain things, and they threw different looks at us, different lineups, we did different things, so that's kind of the back and forth battle that teams have, and obviously the atmosphere that we played in front of in game 1 and 2 was unbelievable, and, but I thought outside of that, the actual game itself, it didn't feel too different from a regular season game. Besides, obviously everything's heightened. It's the playoffs. They're important games, but obviously the adjustment thing was big. But outside of that, it felt pretty good.
With it feeling normal, how much of that is a testament to all the work that you guys put in during the 82 game season?
It's important because you don't want to get to the playoffs and try and do things you haven't done before. But we've built all the right habits through 82 games, through training camp and things like that. So come playoff time, we've got all the right things in place and we know what to do, and we can fall back on certain things. And it's important to build those things over 82 games. We did that the right way. It's for moments like this and series in the playoffs where if things aren't working, you have things to fall back on that you practice throughout the year.
Josh, with that, just the adjustments game to game, you mentioned both teams changed. I just wonder, after each win, knowing the things that maybe helped you win the game, the previous game, not knowing if they'll work, what is that like from game to game?
Yeah, it is hard because obviously you don't know what the team's going to do, you don't know what the adjustments they're going to make. And I think, if we win in 2 games, 3 games, a lot of the adjustments is on the other team. We did a lot of things right in game 2 and 3 in particular. So it's not like we had to come out and change a whole lot, but you have to be ready for teams making adjustments and things like that. And we made ours, and it's never anything that's over the top that is maybe obviously noticeable from a fan perspective, but there's definitely changes both teams make, and it's hard to predict and guess what the other team's going to do, but you've got to be ready for everything.
Your perspective of the clip that's going viral since in the locker room after the game with Mark just getting doused with water, what was your perspective there? What do you remember from that?
Yeah, it's obviously, one, it was to celebrate him winning Coach of the Year. It was that day or the day before. And 2, just kind of celebrate these small wins. You win a series, you advance, and he's obviously had a lot to do with the growth here, not only this year but the last 4 or 5 years, however long he's been here. So it was a great chance to kind of recognize that, celebrate him, and he's a big part of it. He's a huge part of the success we're having right now, and guys that acknowledge that in the locker room after the game. But it just shows how together we are as a team, and how much we love each other and love being around each other. He was actually walking around the locker room, kind of just pointing to everybody, and it just happened in the clip. He was looking at me, so it does look good. But he was actually kind of going around the room.
How often do you hear him talk like that?
Not often. That was kind of the first time he's come in the locker room and said stuff like that. He was obviously excited like we all were, but he's kind of the head of the snake, and anytime he gets excited, the rest of us get behind it. It's good. Anytime you're making shots and things are going the right way for you, you naturally feel more confident. But just understanding that it's in the past now, the made shots don't carry over to the next series. So starting fresh, having a clean mindset, and going to the next series, as its own thing.
Did it feel good though to help out, because at the time it looked like New Orleans had the momentum, and then all of a sudden you hit a couple of shots, you had a steal in the lane, it kind of changed with the Thunder's way.
Yeah, we wanted to end the series that night, and we had to make some plays, and guys were attacking it, being aggressive, and New Orleans was helping. They were rotating, and I happened to be on the end of a couple, skip passes and extra passes, and the guys did a good job of finding me, and I just tried to step up, be confident, knock down shots.
After that, and just more seriously, how do you feel about the defensive series that you put together?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was good, and I spoke about it, in the press conference after the game that, the playoffs is when teams will attack a guy and try and play them off the floor, and I've never wanted to be that guy. I've had a lot of conversations with coach. We've watched a lot of film on that end of the floor, and just knowing my role, and you're guarding the same guy and same couple guys for the same 4 games. It's like you understand personnel. You as a team understand what you're trying to do defensively, and I just tried to lock into that as much as I could. Try to take pride one-on-one guarding my guy, and then being help off the ball to Dub and Lou when they got these main guys. So, I'm trying to take more pride in that end of the floor and not, maybe taking possessions off to save energy or whatever it is, but being locked in every possession and not being a guy that teams, could target.